Welcome to the Unlimited Manifestation, where traditional wisdom meets modern science, and there's no limit to what you can manifest. Here's your dream supporter and manifestation coach, Reya Wan.
Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Unlimited Manifestation podcast. I'm so thrilled that you are here again, and that means a lot to me. That means my work is making a difference in your life, and you are now motivated to learn more ways to manifest an amazing life. I'm so excited for all the great things that will come to your life. I challenge you to dream bigger. Remember, it is your life. It is your miracle. I want to start today by asking you this question. Are you reacting to your life, or are you creating your life deliberately every day? Now, before you answer this question, I want you to move forward to listen to this podcast by listening for insight and not just for information. And then write down 3 things that you would do to help you create what you want in life. Take action immediately while you are inspired. Because when you are learning all these tools and listening to this podcast, and if you're not taking action, there's nothing going to change in your life. There will be just more information and more confusion you get. My invitation to you is, before you finish this podcast, get clear on the 3 steps you can take to move you closer to your dream. In today's episode, I want to talk about the first step in creating anything you want in your life. If you do nothing else but this one thing, you will still experience a powerful shift. When my son comes to me and complains about his brother or a certain situation, I would usually suggest him to look at the situation in a different angle or change his focus. Einstein once said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? However, sometimes my son will say, I can't do that because I can't change this. I can't do that. And he gives me a lot of reason why he can't, and he argues so hard for his stuck situation. I see that in a lot of my clients too. They would tell me that their situation is different. Maybe they have an abusive family member, like father, sister, husband, or they have a very stressful work or boss. They would say, if I have a richer parents, or if my husband didn't abuse me, or my business doesn't fail, or if my wife can take care of the family better, and so on. We call this the victim consciousness. You see, our language reveals what is in our subconscious mind. When we are saying, I can't, our mind is blocked from the solution that we can solve our problem. And sometimes it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I invite you to pause consciously. When you or someone else you know say, I can't, pause and think about what thoughts you are thinking when you say the word I can't. What beliefs do you have about the things you can't do or change? For example, when you say, I really want to join that program, but I just can't afford it. Or you say, I am stuck in life, but I can't change. I can't is an expression of victim consciousness. When you use this expression, you're telling your mind to stop looking for solutions, and you're giving your power away to something outside of you. When you're in a victim consciousness, you're literally giving all your powers away to the people or situations that you believe is making you stuck in the first place. So the first step in creating anything you want in life is to move from the victim consciousness to the creator consciousness. You are a spiritual being living in a physical body. You have unlimited power and potential in you. In order to use this power to create something you really want, it requires you to take full responsibility of your life. A lot of people have to become consciousness without realizing it. And therefore, they are losing the power to change. Here are some ways you can tell if you have a victim consciousness. Number one, you complain a lot, blaming other people or situations for how you think, feel, and act. You may find yourself saying, "She makes me feel sad. He did this to me. They don't like me." Number two, there seems to be a powerful force over you that prevents you from changing. That is, when you find yourself saying, "I can't change," because whatever reason you give it. Number three, you have a habitual thought process that spins into self-pity and feeling sorry for yourself. Things you would be thinking are, "Life is so hard. They're always yelling at me. They're always doing this thing to me." And you feel bad and you spin and spin off the same thought again and again about how someone else hurt you, and you can't let it go. I always say they may hurt you once, but by thinking about it thousands of times, you continue to hurt yourself many, many times. Number four, you are always the victim of your story. For every victim in the story, there is always a bad guy or villain. They did something to you. It's how you think most of the time and how you interpret the relationship with other people. Once you identify yourself as the victim, there must be a villain who made you feel, think, and act in a certain way. The problem with that is you are giving all your powers to the villain. You are creating feelings of disempowerment and fear within yourself. Number five, you feel defensive when someone says something about you. Perhaps someone may comment on the suits that you wear does not fit you today, and you immediately feel bad and be defensive. Number six, you want to hide. You don't want to put yourself out there because someone may hurt you, right? When you are in victim mode, there's a bad guy out there that could hurt you, so you want to hide. When you allow an outside event or people to control what you can do, you're giving all your powers to them, and you're solidifying your current reality of being stuck. I found that most people argue so hard for the limitations and not for the potentials and possibilities. When we are looking at other people and giving them all the power for how we feel, is the victim consciousness. Think about that for a minute. Is there anyone in your life that you think is the cause of your pain? Notice what you're thinking and when I ask that question. Let me give you an example. Perhaps you are in a party and no one says hello to you or offer you a drink, and you start thinking, "That's rude. Why would they do that to me?" Maybe the host is busy with too many people, but you can't help to think it's all because of you. And perhaps you're not pretty enough, you think. That's why they don't talk to me. Perhaps you are not rich enough, right? And you start to compare your weakness with other people's strength, and you decide that nobody respects you. You start to really get upset at the host for not saying hello or introducing you to others. But the reason why you don't get a drink or someone saying hello, maybe there's not enough help in the party, or maybe the host is just too busy with too many people, right? But You can't help making it all about you. Now, let me tell you, most people have this victim consciousness for many, many years. When they were a child, something traumatic had happened and they have adopted the victim mindset, even though it is long gone. People who have this mentality is past focused. They are always going back to the past and find evidence for why they are feeling a certain way. The person and the event may have been gone, but they're still blaming the person or the event for how they feel now. Sometimes it is hard to see our subconscious programming that is building all these limitations that blocks our view from possibility of life. Sadhguru once said that suffering is inevitable. Suffering is self-created. Our physical pain is necessary for survival, but suffering is self-created and unnecessary. What kind of suffering you go through is not relevant to what is happening in the world or in your body. It is relevant to your interpretation of things around you, what you focus on, how you interpret, what kind of meaning you're giving to what happened. Your reaction is entirely yours. How do we know? Because we can observe that for the same situation, one set of people will be suffering, another set of people will be enjoying the same thing, simply due to the way they react to it. For example, if it rains today, some people will feel very upset or depressed because they may have plans to go out, or the rain just depressed them, or the cold weather just depressed them. And yet, another set of people would totally love it and enjoyed it. I am one of those people who really enjoy rain. I love watching it. When it drops, the rain just calms the whole world down. I find it very peaceful when I look at it. So you suffer because of the kind of thoughts and emotions you generate. What kind of thoughts and emotions you generate is 100% yours. The fact is, you can never create or manifest the life you want if you're in a victim consciousness. If you rely on others to keep you happy and give you the life you want, then you are a victim and you have no power to create. So the first step in creating anything in life is to take the role of the creator, realizing you are the creator of your own life and you have unlimited potential and power in you. Setbacks and hurts are a part of life. How you respond and react to these setbacks determine how you live your life. You cannot control circumstances, but you can control how you react to them. How can you change your victim mindset? Realize that the brain will pick doing something comfortable versus doing something good for you. Change that around. Set little goals for yourself. If you want to manifest anything in life, the first thing you need to get rid of is the victim consciousness, because this is where you are giving so much power away and not using it to create what you want. Imagine how powerful you are if you can claim it back and by taking full responsibility for everything that happened in your life. So here are some steps you can use to move yourself from victim mindset to the creative mindset. Number one, know that you have unlimited power in you. Feeling like a victim is not a weakness. It is just a belief pattern that we built in our brain, and we can change it consciously, right? If we put it there, we can take it out. It does not mean you are not a strong and capable person. Know that you have unlimited potential. You can achieve anything you want in life. Just believe in the creative power in you. Number two, Take full responsibility of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Responsibility permits you to walk into freedom. When a person refuses to accept responsibility of their life, they give all their power to other people, situations, or circumstances. They are no longer in control of their future. You may not be able to control other people or circumstances in life, but you have total control of how you think, feel, and act. Number 3, stop blaming others as the cause of the result you get. I love this quote by Vinvel Devor. He said, blaming others causes a person to remain bound in a prison of their own making. When you take responsibility, blame is eliminated and you are free to grow. Number 4, instead of asking, why does this happen to me? Ask, why does this happen for me? Know that everything happens for a reason. Life happens for you. Everything that happens in your life has a purpose, which is to awaken you to some truth that you need to see. Really seek out the learning in every situation. Believe that life really do happen for you. Number 5, turn your attention to giving to others and add gratitude to everything that is working well in your life. When you do that, you're putting your energy into things that are good and you're attracting more and more good things to you. Number 6, allow others to say what they want to say without feeling offended or angry. It doesn't mean that you won't say something back. It just means that you don't say something back out of any negative emotions based on what they say. You can always say, that is an interesting opinion. And then you move on to the next topic. Number 7, flip it around. Life is a mirror. It is always reflecting back the lesson you need to learn back to you. For example, when someone is yelling at you, reflect on whether you have yelled at others in the past. Or are you secretly yelling at yourself for something that you should know, right? Always take a look at what it means. What message is it trying to tell you? Number 8, journal down your feelings and burn the paper. Write down all your emotions, right? Or around the events or people. That way you're unloading your emotions on the paper and you can get rid of it. Number 9, practice self-love and care and set boundaries. Say no to things that you don't want to do. Be compassionate to yourself. And finally, I want to say that for anything to change in your life, you have to change. No one can force a change in you or do it for you. You have to do it. I've seen it countless times when a friend or a client told me they are not able to change because of a certain person or event. And when that event or person disappeared, they are still stuck, or even worse, because now they have no one to blame. You have to change first before your environment can change. You have to be happy first before the situation you want to show up in life. I know sometimes it is not easy to do, and it is hard to see the light in the darkest time of your life. But I guarantee you there is light in the end of the tunnel, and the sun will come up. Don't be afraid. During my most difficult days, when I tried to get out of my depression and I kept falling and falling again, I heard this voice in my mind that kept telling me, it's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it. your life is going to be rewarded. It is so worth it if you get out of what your situation is. It is not going to be easy, but it is worth it. You have so much power in you. Claim it back. It is your life. It is your miracle. Love you all and talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening to The Unlimited Manifestation. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you have any questions or comments, please go to unlimitedmanifestation.com.